It is, hands down, the greatest mythological retelling of all time. It's the GOAT! It's The Silence of the Gales by Pat Barker. We were talking about prose. Cormac McCarthy, of course, is usually hailed as one of the greats of prose.
One of the GOATs, yeah.
One of the few to, I think, outdo him in a book is Pat Barker. I would say this is one of the top 3 books of prose of all time. The use of kind of the fluctuating use of language, where at moments we have very kind of vivid bits of detail and imagery and description, other times completely stripped back, really mirroring the psychology of the character, but in a way that really flows, because you understand Briseis so well, because this is looking at the Trojan story, retelling it from the perspective of Briseis, which is so interesting because she is a slave, one of the Trojan royalty, taking a slave, and sees a very close perspective of characters such as Achilles and Agamemnon, and she's kind of unnoticed. She has little to no agency. And Pat Barker, like Elodie Harper, does characters with little agency just incredibly well.
And what I find remarkable about this book is the relationship between Achilles and Patroclus.
Yeah.
Because Achilles is this like PTSD suffering maniac, really, who's got this bloodlust, but also an extreme love of Patroclus with a really tender relationship in there. And Patroclus is so devoted to Achilles, knows him so well, and will do things that, you know, or understands him in a world where Achilles believes that no one can understand him. It's really powerfully written, and you know, where you really dislike who Achilles is, what he does, you know, for a key figure of the Iliad, someone labelled as, you know, having these Homeric qualities of heroism and greatness and choosing your name to live, you know, beyond your life, that is, you know, something that appealed to ancient Greeks. And to see him written in such a truthful and realistic way, you know, with the deeds that he was committing, is so powerful. And I would say The Silence of the Gales is it's an evocative book that will make you feel emotions. And, you know, Will talking about the criteria, something moving in its own direction, a masterclass of its genre, a book that makes you feel such a range of emotions, from confusion at kind of feeling empathy to someone who you didn't think you would, you know, kind of admiring someone and their loyalty to someone who's utterly, you know, evil, really, and their cause that they stand for. It's masterfully written to get the reader, I think, in on that. And her prose is, as Will said, the only thing, probably maybe Stephen Graham Jones as well, her and him, to outdo any Cormac McCarthy book, in my opinion.
That is a bold thing to say, but I have to agree with you. Next up, Ed.